Today we will be considering the historical as well as current importance of Lexington's Buckman Tavern. We will take a look at its roles before, during, and after the famous Battle of Lexington on April 19, 1775, to discover a world of importance beyond that one fateful day. The Buckman Tavern, named after its proprietor in 1775, John Buckman, was an important place in the town even before the Battle of Lexington. It provided meals, liquor, and lodging for many visitors to the town. Because the Buckman Tavern was close to the town's meeting house and church, both men and women often met here after meetings and services, especially on days where the unheated meeting house and church were inhospitable. In fact, records show that even Lexington selectmen met here sometimes for both formal and informal occasions. The men would convene in the tap room, where they could smoke and drink without disturbing the women, who would usually gather in the small parlor, a few rooms away from the tap room. Many important people came through the tavern. John Hancock kept a trunk of papers at the tavern that Paul Revere retrieved for him upon fleeing on the morning of April 19, 1775. Because it served as such a comfortable meeting place to discuss politics and various other important issues, and due to its location right on the town common, the Buckman Tavern was the ideal place to meet before the battle that morning. After waiting for a few hours for the British regulars to arrive, Captain Parker and his men decided to go to the tavern and wait there while regularly checking to see if the British soldiers were close by. Finally, after a long wait, the First Battle of Lexington erupted, leaving its mark on the Buckman Tavern in the form of a bullet hole in one of its doors. But is the Buckman Tavern still important today? To find out, we conducted the following interview.
Hi, so I'm here with Allison Filatico, who is the Interpretations Manager for the Lexington Historical Society. And I'm here to just ask a couple of questions about the Buckman Tavern. So my first is, when did the Buckman Tavern stop serving as a tavern, and when did it start serving as a museum?
So the Buckman Tavern was a tavern for about 100 years, from around 1710 to around 1810. And around 1813, a family called the Merriam family purchased the property, ceased operating it as a tavern, but he actually operated a small store and the first U.S. post office here in Lexington, here on site, but it was his private home. And it was a private home through a few different families for another 100 years, and then became a museum around 1913, so we've been a museum for about 100 years.
Great, thank you.
Neat.
My second question is, do you think that the Buckman Tavern still has a very important role in this town? And if so, how do you think it plays that important role?
Definitely think it has an important role in the town. We see that evidenced by the support we received from the town for our recent restoration project, where we had Community Preservation Act funding, so from the townspeople and the town itself. It's a National Historic Landmark. It often shows up on various postcards and books and flyers because it's a very iconic place, and its location on the battle green, which is also so iconic and important, definitely ties the community together. Let's say everyone who lives in Lexington knows about the Buckman Tavern.
Right.
Though it no longer serves as either a tavern, home, or post office, the tavern's transformation into a museum has made it a monumentally important cultural icon in the town. It hosts thousands of visitors every year and is an important part of the reenactments of the Battle of Lexington. Thus, it is apparent that the Buckman Tavern's significance in Lexington extends beyond its role as meeting place of the Minutemen on the morning of the first battle of the American Revolution.